Do you think a definition of someone able to become pregnant would be a woman?
Depends on if they identify as a woman.
Right. So, okay, we're now getting to the root of the issue. So, do you believe that truth is objective or subjective? Do you believe in absolute truth?
Sure.
Okay, so if you believe in absolute truth, shouldn't we have absolute terms of what a infant-bearing or infant-birthing person is, otherwise known as a woman?
No.
What are you talking about? What do you mean no?
Hey Charlie, I was told to keep it short, so I will. So you touched on LGBTQ rights a lot. You've talked about, trans bathrooms, you getting banned from Twitter, very, awful. But I'm wondering if I can get a straight answer, yes or no. Do you think the acceptance of queer people in society is a good thing?
Well, define acceptance and define queer, because when I grew up, that was like a slander. So I don't know, that's like a thing now.
Queer being lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and what was the other word you asked
What do
me
you
to
mean
define?
acceptance? What do you mean?
Acceptance being that, society, accepts that, doesn't try to change that, doesn't try to say that it's not a social, like it's not a good thing for you to be gay, it's not a good thing for you to be trans, and in our institutions also just offering them resources to just come to terms with their sexuality, not feel bad about it. Basically, by acceptance, I generally mean society shouldn't make people feel bad about who they are. So, do you agree with that?
No. I mean, we should feel bad about all sorts of things. So, I mean, yeah, happy to get the mic back up. But, I mean, I'll just ask you a very simple question, and this will tell, what is a woman?
A woman is someone who identifies as a woman.
Got it. So,
You see, that's where you mess up. That's where you mess up. You see, when you go into these discussions and somebody asks you a very black and white question, for example, what is a woman? And you answer with someone who identifies as a woman. You don't give your argument any basis because he can just say, okay, I identify as a woman now, or I identify as this. Will you accept me if I do this? How could you even say acceptance if you don't even know a solid basis on identification? So I'm not saying I disagree or agree with this young man's argument, or I don't even know if they would classify themselves as a young man according to their argument. I don't know. But you need to have some level of objectivity with what you're talking about, because you can't just say, well, we need to be accepted, but when he asks you, okay, what are you, you can't even give a real answer. Do y'all get what I'm saying? You gotta have some level of this is this. Come on, bro. Like,
So do you think a definition of someone able to become pregnant would be a woman?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
So if someone can become pregnant, would that person be defined as a woman?
Depends on if they identify as a woman.
Right. So, okay, we're now getting to the root of the issue. So do you believe that truth is objective or subjective? Do you believe in absolute truth?
Sure.
Okay, so if you believe in absolute truth, shouldn't we have absolute terms of what a infant-bearing or infant-birthing person is, otherwise known as a woman?
No.
Okay.
bro, bro, what are you talking about? What do you mean no? And like, y'all make it, bro, you're making it, or bro, is it bro? I don't know. But you make it hard to defend or support your argument when you say stuff like this. Like, you don't, it's like you always live in the gray area. It's no yes or no. It's just everything is just up to guessing. I don't even know at this point. Like, there is no such thing as a woman, no such thing as a man, no such thing as this, no such thing as that. How do I even, realistically, how do I support you or stand with you if I don't even know what I'm standing with? What am I even supporting right now? I don't even know.
Let me ask you this a different way, I suppose. So if anyone can identify anything at any time, correct?
Anyone can identify
As a woman or a man, you could just choose at any time, right?
gender. Well,
Sure.
Gender identity isn't switching genders all the time. It just depends. Like,
But that's your position, right? That's fair to say? That you could change your gender?
my position is that you should accept people's gender identity, and you shouldn't try to shame them out
So
of it.
let me ask you, should we accept people that think they're younger than they actually are? Because that's a mental condition where people say, I identify as an 8-year-old, but they're really 50. Should we accept someone be able to say they're younger?
No, but I think that's a very false equivalence.
Why is it a false equivalence?
Because there's scientific research supporting that gender identity is something that is, there's scientific research that supports people and says that if you identify as a certain gender, then that is, your gender, there's this paper on Scientific American that I found very interesting that said, like, it has to do with like your brain formation in the womb, where gender identity forms, but it's different from sex. That's very different from a disorder where you say, I'm not actually my age, because...
Well, hold on. You just agreed with me. You said it's a brain formation issue. It's a brain formation...
I didn't say it was a disorder.
Well, so you don't think transgenderism is a disorder?
No.
What is gender dysphoria?
Gender dysphoria is when you're very uncomfortable with your own body, and that usually relates to gender, and that can usually be treated if you choose a transition to...
Right, so it's a mental condition, right?
Well, gender dysphoria is, but transgenderism is not.
What's the difference?
The difference between gender dysphoria and transgenderism?
Yes.
Being transgender means that you don't identify with the gender you're born with. Gender dysphoria means you're uncomfortable with your body. So they're two different things.
No, so you cannot be quote-unquote transgender without suffering from gender dysphoria. So let me ask you one more question. So you believe that we can dictate pronouns. Can I choose my adjectives? Can I decide to be like super rich? Or like, can I decide to be small? Like, is there anything objective that we have to actually admit? Or can you just change anything at any time?
I think people should have the right to determine their pronouns.
Okay, I'm not even going to talk about the pronouns. I'm going to talk about this young person's mindset. I don't even know what they... Anyways, this is crazy. The fact that you can get on camera or get on stage or whatever, wherever you're at, and you honestly believe that everything is subjective, that is the most privileged thing I've ever heard. Because there's other people in different places in the world where they are really trying to figure out what they're going to eat tonight. They're trying to figure out how they better hope the terrorists don't make it over that mountain, because if they do, their whole village is gone. They're not even worried about these type of subjective and objective, because in their life, they can only focus on objective truth. They can only focus on if they have food or water or a place to live, or if their mom is going to... They can only focus on these objective truths. So when we have this young person so far caught up in this realm of misreality, realm of nothing is real, everything is up to debate, it just kind of makes me a little sad, because it's the most telling sign of privilege that I can talk about. And I'm not even referring to their personal beliefs, or they believe that gender is fluid. I'm referring to their mindset, where they think everything is fluid. When somebody asks you, okay, you believe this, what is a woman? You can't even answer it, because in your mind, everything can change whenever you want it to. Life can be green when you want it to. It can be blue when you want it to. It doesn't even matter. You don't care about any objective truths. They're not even real to you. Because when you go to sleep, you're going to sleep whenever. You're going to eat whatever you want. You're going to do whatever you want. Life is whatever you want. This mindset is terrible, bro.
And I don't think...
No, how about adjectives?
I don't think people actually do that, so I don't know why that's something you're...
Well, of course, like if someone says, I declare I'm rich, is no longer than saying I'm declare I'm a man. Your chromosomes aren't that way. You don't get to choose what your reality is, do you?
Gender identity is reality.
Okay, so anyone could be anything. Let me ask, how about species reality? Can I change my species?
No.
Why?
Not.
There's people that identify as cats and dogs all the time. It's a serious mental condition. It is. It's treated all the time. Tens of thousands of cases every single year. So basically, if you believe in absolute truth, which you say you do, why wouldn't you believe in absolute truth when it comes to chromosomal structure?
Because gender and chromosomal sex are two different things.
That's right, according to your opinion. Got it. So,
but
now you want to impose that opinion on the rest of society, right? You can have whatever opinion you want. Here's our position. That opinion should now not apply to all of a sudden saying that men and women's sports should be conflated. Final question. Did you find a moral problem with the University of Pennsylvania swimmer changing from a man to a woman and winning the NCAA championship, defeating other women?
Well, I'm not familiar, but I'm pretty sure that the NCAA has some rules that makes it so people who transition have, like, kind of a competitive, fair thing. So I haven't done enough research into those rules, but
yeah, okay.
usually
So
let me
catch you up to speed.
Bro, okay. Y'all, no comment.
462nd best male swimmer, best female swimmer, NCAA champion. Do you see a problem with that?
Are you suggesting that she transitioned to a woman to get better at swimming?
Of course. And we shouldn't allow that to happen.
Why would you transition yourself just to become better at a sport? Who does
Because
that?
you're a narcissist. That's why. Because it's like saying, why would anyone steal anything? Why would anyone cut in line? People do bad things. It's not up to us as society to accommodate the rules for your impulses to go do bad things. Last question. Do you think there's differences between men and women?
Was this the actual last question?
Yeah.
How are you even going to answer this question? You still haven't even defined what a woman and what a man is. Like, for the average viewer, me, how do I even know how you define a woman? I don't even know. If you were teaching a class, what would you even teach a woman is? Anyone who says they are one? Or what would you teach a man is? Can you be black? Can you be white? Can I identify someone older? Can I identify someone younger? Like, I'm just confused, and these are real questions. How do you even define woman from your perspective?
Yeah, last. I'm curious. No, I'm curious because I can't believe you're paying for this. It's like so interesting.
Well, there are actual differences between men and women, yes, in terms of, chromosomes, as you mentioned. So, yeah, sure.
Okay, so therefore we agree that men and women have differences. We should define society around those differences. And one of those differences is that women they have lower testosterone levels, and they could be easily exploited by men, which is what happens far too often. And it's incumbent on men who have higher testosterone levels, who are physically stronger, to protect women against the exploitation of men who think they are women. That's a moral question and a moral claim. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
Man, this is getting out of control. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, the comment section is yours. It's